What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Had a little problem with my second web camera. I think I now know why. My system has been freezing, so I'm a little behind here. Dirty Sanchez, Logan Motorsports, Star Wars 9918, welcome. And let me go ahead and enter the chat here.
This might be the most we've ever had for an
Oh, my God. This is going to be iconic. Holy cow. He's in the green room, and he's ready to.
I hope Mark Holmes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No prisoners. We dish it. You got to be able to take it. No
Hey, wait a minute now. Philly, you should have seen I text Philly yesterday. He didn't get back to me for about 2 hours. Usually gets back to me right away. I can't wait to kick his ass. All of a sudden, man, yeah, Sills, I'll be right there, man. And I'm like, let's read these supers, brother.
Yeah, let's read them.
Let's do it. By the way, Holmes got his own problems, too. Who knows what they're doing with that?
There you go.
I don't know if they're playing pickle. Who knows
What about Christian Parker interviewing?
I actually think that'd be a good hire for them.
It would be a great hire.
If you were a Cowboy fan.
Yep.
And I, you know what else I weirdly think? Fans are going to rip me for this. I think Jonathan Gannon would be okay there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because he's going to run a more – he's going to change up that scheme. It's not going to be as good as Fangio, obviously, but that's a better type of defense to play with Dak Prescott, I think.
Yeah,
that's going to go and get your points. So if you can hold them in red zones and, you can play that bend but don't break and you actually don't break, then –
If you think about it, Jonathan Gannon had the best front seven pressure numbers in the history of the Eagles. He had 4 guys at double-digit sacks that year. He had 70 sacks.
Are all their DTs back next year? Mark, are all your DTs under contract next year? Quinnen?
Yes, they are.
I can't hear you.
Yes, they are.
And he is too? Yeah, all right.
Yes.
So they're going to be good in the interior.
Those 2 dudes are in the middle. Yeah, let's get to these.
Here's Matthew. Locker room feels flat. Last time this happened, we landed AJ, then Barkley. Both sparked runs to the big game. History says a big offensive move is coming. Who's next? Where are you going to make a big offensive move?
Yeah, where's that coming from? If you make a swing, it's at edge.
Guys, they've already maxed out their pay at every position. You can't really get better at any position. This is my whole point about the offense being so underwhelming. It's one thing to have an underwhelming offense when you're Justin Herbert and you don't have an offensive line, or you're, another one of these teams that has no receivers, or you're Brock Purdy and you're throwing at DeMarcus Robinson. We got everything. You can't even come up with a trade to improve a spot.
I got it, man.
Tell you that, maybe. Here's Hangry Dog. Celia, reading between the lines, correction. Didn't Doug say he would do consulting role, not OC? Doug also said Frank could help with run game in Philly.
No. He said he'd be the OC.
I got to go back and listen to that interview. You should try and get Doug back on. Although he's probably interviewing now. Maybe. I don't know if he is or not. Mr. Hill says, Sills,
you should replay that. Doug saying that.
Sills, I hope you are only the sideline next to Mike Monday night. Oh, on the sideline. He's not flying to Miami. This guy knew he wasn't. I mean, if Miami can't get him to go to Miami for a national championship. Here's Tyler. Bold prediction. Without AJ, Hurts, and Sirianni miss every postseason. My self-Hurts game makes me hate football. Buy out his no-trade clause and get Burrow. Now, talking about being aggressive, that's aggressive.
That'd be aggressive.
Yeah.
Going to Duke Tobin and going, hey, I'll tell you what. I'll send you Hurts. Give me Burrow.
Hurts and Torn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll do it.
It's cheaper. It'd be cheaper.
Would you
Justin,
do that?
How are you doing? Dirty Sanchez.
If I was Cincinnati.
Jeff Lee.
No, if you're
Jeff.
You in a minute.
I wouldn't even think about it.
AJ Brown would beg to stay.
Beg. He would have 2,100 next year. Are you kidding?
He would. He'd beg. Devontae Smith with Joe Burrow would have 1,400 yards.
Wait, you want to piss people off right before the Battle Royale?
Yeah, piss people off. I like that.
How successful would the Eagles team be with Dak Prescott?
Oh, shit.
He'd throw for $5,000.
I agree. They would fucking cook. They would cook on offense. They had the number 1 offense this year.
Yeah. He'd have $5,000.
Oh, my Lord.
He'd throw for 48 touchdowns this year. You know what he would have? He would look like Stafford.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Don't tell Philly.500. He's going to get so mad at me. Don't do it. Don't tell him I said it. Here's, we got that one. Here's Dirty Date. number one 5-star, not one 5-star recruit in Indiana. That's impressive. Very impressive.
That's a fact.
Suo says if Mike can make shitty Tua look good, he can dial up some serious plays for us. And their run game is electric, 4th in the league in yards per carry.
Tua's a passer, though.
Yeah, but that's one of the biggest things. Mike McDaniel and that Shanahan tree, they have their own run scheme. So if they come in here, they're going to change it from Jeff Stoutland. That's a big ask.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here.
I hope.
Wow, he was on that Washington staff, that 2000 Washington staff, when they had like Matt LaFleur and McVay and all them guys.
Well, let me finish these out. Philly says, Philly McGilly, trading AJ will be a massive mistake. He has a huge cap hit. These last 4 years, he's made Jalen look better than he actually is, and they'll have a new play caller. Why hasn't he requested a trade? Well, we'll find out. I agree that they shouldn't trade him. I don't think it's a good thing. Kyle says, I'm going to quote Richard Sherman. We paid for a Ferrari car, but there's a Corolla engine. Corolla. Not the one you just saw at the gas station earlier today. Right? Christopher Michael says, Howie shit would be sending AJ with Hurts for Joe. No. Why would you get rid of AJ for bringing Joe?
No way.
All right, Sills, get this battle royale going. Hey. Don't tell Philly.500 what I said.
Hey, listen. I want to show you something with Mike McDaniels if he does. So here, Mike McDaniel worked with Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Matt LaFleur on that Mike Shanahan staff. Holy shit. Okay?
Everyone's playing checkers while everyone else is playing chess, Shady says.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Other runners are stupid how they can fleece them. I agree. All right, Sills.
All right, Big Z, we appreciate you. Make sure everybody catches him on Birds 365 in the morning. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm going to tell Philly.500 here. I got to say this, man. When I sent Mark Holmes the invitation for today, got right back to me.
Yeah.
I sent him one for Philly.500. Took about an hour and a half. I think he was.
What a stupid play.
I don't know, man. Without further ado, this has got to be one of the most anticipated battle royales of the year. How is this going to go? This is going to be one of the epic ones. Without further ado, one of the great Dallas Cowboy content creators and our friend, the legendary Mark Holmes. And without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the greatest Philadelphia Eagles content creators, our friend, Philly.500. Joins us now here on the program. How you doing, guys?
Here we go.
I brought the support bunny with me today.
I can tell you this. I am really understanding why Cowboy fans are so delusional and nuts. It's been a long time since I've had to take a seat on the couch. I forgot what it's like.
Okay.
But now I see what it's like to be a Cowboy fan year in and year out. This is pathetic. This is pathetic.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to give you the first go here. Actually, Mark, you know what? If you don't mind, let me give Philly the
Please
first
do. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I'm just going to sit here.
He is still
in
camp.
Wait a second. You texted me. I texted you as soon as I could. I can't help it if I have things to do. I can't sit in front of my computer screen like Mark. I can't help that.
Okay. Hey, no, I was.
And then tell Xander to stop sniffing cowboy panties because I heard what he said earlier. I heard what he said. Mark kicks his ass. What kind of shit is that? I'm defending your team, bro.
Hey,
I remember that. I'm just kidding.
What happened? What happened on Sunday, dude?
Out-coached, outclassed. Big time, man. Yeah, it was really disappointing. I'm very, very disappointed in that playoff performance. I hate the whole thing leading up to it. I keep going back to you could have got the second seed, but you arrogantly sat there and acted like, well, we got the 3 seed. We're so good, we don't have to worry about, right? And you see Shanahan come in with a depleted team, and he outcoached you. You just got outcoached off the field, man. And to me, it was very eye-opening, that's for sure.
Mark, what was your feelings as a Cowboy fan watching the Eagles go down in flames on Sunday in that wild card game against a lesser team, as Philly said, that 49er depleted team?
I felt like I just couldn't wait for Wednesday to see Philly.500 eat crow. I literally, as soon as it was over, called Philly.500. I mean, literally within a minute of it, okay? And I'm surprised he answered.
Did.
And I said, Philly, I got good news for you.
I always answer.
And I said, you don't have to go to Chicago and play them.
Yeah, it's true.
Boy.
And what did I say, Mark?
Move over. Yeah, move on over.
Move
yeah,
over, buddy.
And at least we made the
Couch.
playoffs. Yeah, but no, it's sad because there's nobody from the NFC East that's in the playoffs. To be quite honest with you, in some regard, I'm really excited that you're sitting here eating crow. But in the same breath, I look and say our division sucks ass. It is not a good feeling.
Yeah, but Mark, I would say this: when I look at the Final Four teams, I'm not overwhelmed by anybody that's going to be playing this weekend. And if I'm the Eagles, this looks like a missed opportunity, dude. That one of the years of the Super Bowl window being open was shut. And now you've got to reopen that going into 26 here. I mean, dude, these things don't stay open that long. You can't lose a roster like that and get knocked out by a shitty 49er team.
I would argue that I still think the Eagles roster is more talented than most of these teams in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I do. Philly, I mean.
Read between the lines. He's saying they choked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
Billy, I'm going to ask you this. Changing the OC does what for 26? If you're going to do the same shit over and over.
It depends. Well, here's the thing. You can't do the same shit over and over again. This has to be the end of the prevent offense philosophy. I think you have to strip Nick Sirianni of all say in what goes on in the offense. Wow. You have to. Otherwise, it doesn't matter who you bring in because you're going to be putting them in that bubble. No, I think not only do I think you have to do it, I think they did it. And that's why I think Patullo is staying because that's Nick Kotite, we're going to call him this all season. That's his consolation prize.
That's what Angelo's calling him. He's calling him Nick Kotite right now. So, Mark, Xander kind of brought this up to me, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think Dak Prescott would do with that offense?
Oh my God!
If he was the quarterback of that football team, what do you think he would do with that offensive talent?
Well, to quote somebody, we got a 6-pack of beer, half a pack of cigarettes, and we're headed for Chicago.
What the hell are you saying, Mark?
That's Blues Brothers, man. John Belushi.
There's no evidence.
Okay.
To support Mark's claims.
All right. Well,
Dak Prescott has had plenty. Look, Dak would have had a great all season. He would have competed to Stafford for MVP, and he would have choked. He would have choked in the first round.
No.
He would have choked.
I tell you what. You asked before we got on here. You asked the question of what the Eagles would be like with Dak Prescott. What would the Cowboys be with the Eagles' defense?
They'd be in the NFC Championship game.
They wouldn't be in the NFC. There's no evidence to show
my God.
No, there wouldn't. No, you can't just put them in there because you feel like putting them in there.
Our defense gave up 511
you have no evidence
points.
that Dak would. No, because Dak.
Mark, what was the highest rated defense during
You can't
Dak
just
Prescott?
do that.
Okay, what was the highest rated defense?
Was 7th. And the problem with
I think it was higher than that.
No, but here's the problem was.
I think it was higher than that.
Just hold on. Just listen to me for a second. The biggest problem or the flaw of it was Dan Quinn basically did that shit with mirrors. We never had a defensive line that could stop the run, and when you get to the playoffs. Okay. No, I'm serious. We haven't had a decent defensive tackle until this year since Jay Ratcliffe. We got mollywopped, and we literally had a linebacker who was really a safety playing linebacker against the 49ers.
Sills is laughing because he knows you're full of shit.
Bro, you have a good O-line. You know that. Don't tell me you have an O-line.
No, I said
you're
defensive line. Defensive line.
You had good enough defenses to win, Mark. Now you're saying that even though your defense is statistically, you're saying your defense is statistically ranked in the top 10, but it wasn't real, and it was
I
just
can't
all
ever
fake.
say.
So you can't.
Here's what I can say here.
You can't put nothing on that.
But
See,
Mark,
this is the difference between
the biggest mistake that you had during the Dak Prescott era was keeping Jason Garrett as long as you did.
You did, yes. I agree with that.
Okay.
100%.
He was an okay coach. He was not the right guy. Now, guess what the Eagles are going through? I'm going to go to Philly here. Philly, your head football coach. How much accountability do you think he faces on this thing here and what went down this year with this football team?
I don't know how much blame he's going to get, but I think he deserves a ton. Because I think the decision to hire your friend as offensive coordinator really, really hampered us, But it's not just that. I mean, listen, I understand the philosophy, right? Because I heard Xander say, "Well, maybe Nick's right," and in some ways, yeah, I understand. You want to play the turnover battle. You want to do that. You feel like you don't want to put Jalen Hurts in certain situations. I get all that thinking, but he took it to such a ridiculous level that if you made one mistake or if one thing is off, you're going to lose. Look how many games they blew leads, right? They blew leads. I think Nick deserves a ton of. I think Nick is the primary responsible person, and in some ways, even though I don't like Patullo, I think he's a scapegoat.
He is. I mean, whether you fire him or not, if you run the same style of play, what are you doing here? Now, Mark, I'll say this. You know what's really cool about the Cowboys this year?
What's that?
I was told that George Pickens was a cancer in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? The only guy that got suspended this year between the two, DK Metcalf and George Pickens, was DK Metcalf. He missed the final 2 games, and George Pickens was the guy that played for you the entire season. Yards. I mean, if you're Pittsburgh, you got to look at yourselves and go, what a shitty move that thing was. Yeah. Could you imagine him on the other side of DK Metcalf? I mean, you should have kept that guy in the building to give Rodgers more weapons. So I lead to this. I mean, are you just going to let that guy walk out of the building?
The rumors are they're going to tag him and try and work out a long-term deal. They're not going to let him get away. In worst cases, you make him play on it. But I think
and you're not paying a running back big money like you were with Zeke a couple years ago.
Javonte Williams, we're looking at roughly about $6 million if they decide to keep him. But knowing the Cowboys, they may look at that last game and say, "Oh, Jaden Blue, he's what we thought when we drafted him," and just let Javonte Williams go. Which at $6 million, I think that's a steal compared to what we used to pay for Zeke, who wasn't performing, as well as Tony Pollard. I mean, he literally had the best season rushing that we've had since 2019.
I'm going to ask you about Jalen Hurts here now. Philly, if Hurts doesn't run the football and doesn't use that as part of his arsenal, and you don't have a dominant run game like you didn't have it this year, I want to put a number out yet, okay? In 2022, Jalen Hurts ran the ball for 765 yards, and you had a guy in there called Miles Sanders who had nearly 1,300 yards. He had about 2,100 yards rushing, and he had 32 touchdowns. And that team, again, you're talking about really a great running attack. Well, this year he had a 1,000-yard rusher. He was underwhelming this year. He was a good player. He wasn't an exceptional player. And I'm talking Saquon Barkley. If your passing game is not elevated, your quarterback, showed that they need more out of the run game. Or the passing game is still 25th. Your previous, it was 28th, 29th. What are you going to do in 26 to elevate the offense? Doing what?
Here's what I'll say. I think that the idea of and I keep hearing people say that Hurts doesn't want to run the ball anymore. I don't know what's true or not. Okay, I don't. But
his actions are speaking to that, though. You know what I mean?
But then he comes out and says that that's not the case. They don't want him to run. I don't know. So I don't know what to make of it. But what I'm saying is you can't take away one of his weapons, right? I'm not saying you have to overly run him, but you got to do it enough where it's an actual threat. And one of the things that surprised me most about this game was I really thought they were going to unleash that a lot more. I thought they were saving that back. So you have to get back to it. But to me, it's interesting because you've got a guy like A.J. Brown, right? And you say, well, guys like A.J. Brown don't want to play in offenses like this, right? And they're never going to be happy not getting the ball and this conservative offense, right? And then people say, well, Jalen Hurts needs this kind of offense. So to me, when I look at the offensive coordinator and I look at what I do, I'm going to go get a coordinator that utilizes everybody. And to me, it's time for Jalen Hurts to either sink or swim. I'm so sick of the Jalen Hurts conversations. I want to put an offense out there that utilizes everybody. And if he has to throw more, fine. Yes, he'll turn the ball over more. That's going to happen. I'm okay with it. But it's time to sink or swim with this whole thing.
Mark, what do you make of the Dallas Cowboys asking and requesting an interview with Christian Parker? You would weaken a little bit in the coaching staff on that side with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think you're going to get a very talented guy that knows what he's doing, especially in a weakness for you with the secondary right now. You're bringing in a guy like that. What do you make of that potential hiring?
Well, one of the mistakes the Cowboys have always made is they wait till the last minute and they just kind of set their sights and say, we're going to hire Brian Schottenheimer. What you actually have right now is an opportunity to really get intel. You're actually interviewing people from all over the place. You've got with him, whether you hire him or not, you got a couple hours you can sit there and pick his brain and say, what would you do with our DBs, and try and figure out what is possible. But I'm with you. If he were hired as a DC, he's going to know exactly how to go ahead and go against this defense, and definitely is a well-respected guy. I look at what he's done with your secondary. I didn't think your secondary was going to be that good. But
especially with Adoree Jackson. Look what he did with Adoree Jackson and all the guys back there.
Yeah.
He did a spectacular job back there. Plus,
you guys literally got rid of half of your talent and you didn't skip a beat. And, you've seen what happened with ours. Al Harris was really good with our secondary, and I think he made our players overachieve on there. But there's a dynamic between him and Shotty that they just feel like he let him get away with too much stuff. I definitely like the interview with him.
How about that, Philly? What about potentially losing Christian Parker to the Dallas Cowboys?
So one of my biggest fears this offseason is losing Parker and Clint Hurt. Maybe you can answer this. They said they requested a interview with him, right?
Yeah.
So can the Eagles actually decline it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I'm declining it. I'm declining it.
But here's the one thing that is pretty much the traditional.
No, I know.
You can't request an interview for a lateral move.
Right.
Like if the Cowboys just wanted to name him the secondary coach, they can just not say, I don't want to have that happen. But if the Cowboys are saying, I want him to be the defensive coordinator of the team, that's an elevated position.
Yeah.
That's kind of where usually teams give that request.
I think that the Eagles should go to him and say, hey, we want you to be the defensive coordinator of the future, him or Klinger, and then
here's more
pay
money
them
not to
accordingly.
do it.
But give him more money. I mean, pay him as a defensive coordinator. I don't want to lose him. I think he's fantastic, and I think Clint Hurt is fantastic. And I think the one strong point that we have is we have really good defensive coaches. I like what they've all done. So yeah, I hope he doesn't go. And then if he goes, I definitely hope it's not to Dallas, because that would suck. I'm not gonna lie, that would suck.
I'm gonna ask Philly this one here, Mark. And I'm gonna ask you. How would you handle the A.J. Brown situation? You, Philly.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm keeping him. Well, I would get him in and say, all right, look, we're going to get this offensive coordinator. The offense is going to change, and this is what we're going to have. And I get him excited and behind it. I have no interest in trading A.J. Brown. For what? For what? A fourth-round pick, and then I need another receiver? I don't see how that benefits his team. I think you're better off trying to keep him and get him excited about the offense with the new coordinator.
Real quick on that then. I didn't ask Xander this, and I should have. What did the new offensive coordinator excite A.J. more than it would the quarterback?
I guess it depends on the coordinator, right? I don't know.
Well, the coordinator's Mike McDaniel. This is the guy that got the ball to Tyreek Hill and got the ball to Jalen Waddle.
Well, I think that
Is that how you motivate AJ doing that?
Yes, right, of course. But I don't think that Jalen Hurts loves this offense either. I think if you told Jalen Hurts he's going to throw the ball more and do more, I think he'd be okay with that. I really do.
Mark, how would you handle? Obviously you get a chance to see CeeDee Lamb and his dynamics in Dallas. How do you think you would handle the A.J. Brown scenario?
Here's the reality is finding receivers of that quality, knowing what we went through after we got rid of Amari Cooper, you can't just get rid of him. And here's the other reality of if you trade him pre-June 1st, you're taking a $43 million dead hit. And even if you make it a post-June 1st, you're still taking another $16 million. He's only 23 next year. So you need to figure out a way to make that guy happy and work into your system. More than anything else, and kind of, let him know, this year was a mistake. We got rid of Kevin Patello. We're going to be more, wide receiver friendly, so to speak, and make that guy happy. You've got to make it work. You can't.
But wait a minute here, guys. If they're going to make that work, that means spreading the offense out. That means going away from what has won for them. Why in the world? Follow me here, though, Mark. Okay. They're 11-6 this year, okay?
Yes.
That's their floor the last 3 years. That's their floor,
yes.
Right?
Yes,
okay.
But here's the problem.
Why in the world would I change when I've got 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years? Why would I go away from that style? Why? Because I want more balls for my
I'm not saying going away from it, but you're going to need to air it out more because Saquon is not going to be the same guy he was last year. You can't – no, he's rushed over 750 times – in the last 2 seasons. He can't
755.
You can't be a workhorse and think he's going to get another 350 carries next year and that he's going to be able to produce the same way. I.e., you need to rely on the receivers a little bit more to open this thing up so that way you're using the pass to help set up the run even more to give him more lanes to rush.
Philly. Go ahead, respond. No.
I was just saying. I think a lot of the problem is, like I said, they've taken it to such an extreme with the conservative play that I also think teams have adjusted to a lot of things that they've done, and they did not adjust. They just doubled down. And I think when you look at also trying to keep your players happy, like A.J. Brown, I think you just have to go away from it to a certain extent. I'm not saying you can't play it safe and at times, but you've got to open it up a little bit. You just do.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
But what you're really not talking about is it's not AJ and it's not Saquon. The real problem is the offensive line was broke down all year. That's where your problems really started because that's what we deal with Dak Prescott and things. If the quarterback don't have time and the lanes aren't there like they are, you're not going to go but so far. It doesn't matter what you call. You got to have the players on the field that can play.
Well, then why would I have an overreaction, Philly? If we're going to go like this and say, well, health can fix this more than a coordinator can fix this. Because I'll make this statement to you guys. If Kellen Moore had this offense, he'd have been fired too. With the offensive. Now, he would have more in-game situational play calling ability than what Kevin Patullo did. That's a given. I get that. But still, if you have a running back that is a 1,000-yard rusher, the quarterback in the passing game is where it is, you were going to throw yourself out of trouble. Kellen Moore wasn't going to fix this. What really covered a lot last year, do you not agree, Philly, was the iconic running game that you had.
Yeah, well, right. The running game masked a lot of it. It did. But, when that running game doesn't work, we're going to go back to the situation where as soon as it doesn't work, you're stuck. Look how many games this year.
That's what happened this year.
Right, but look how many games this year also, Sills, they come out and they get a big lead. Like 24-6 versus Tampa, 21-0 versus Dallas. They're up on a bunch of teams, and then they blow the lead, and they can't even complete a pass in the second half. To me, that's because your coaches can't adjust to what the other coaches have adjusted to in-game. So you need somebody for that.
Mark, I'm going to ask you this before I ask Philly this because you saw the declining of running back with Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you when you're seeing with Barkley here. You had a pretty good offensive line, but every year after he got paid and came back from Cancun, you saw yards per carry going down and down and down and down. Last year he was 5'8". This year he's 4'1". I'm going to assume that an older guy, and maybe if the line comes back and they're healthy, maybe it improves. I don't know, because that's really $1,000 question for next year, whether they come back healthy at center and left guard with Landon Dickerson. Yeah. Are you seeing any of the same similarities of what you saw with Ezekiel Elliott with Barkley?
I don't even have to put it with Zeke. Here's where you can actually go through, and we're talking about Hall of Fame running backs. That 2,000-yard mark is like a curse. After they hit that 2,000 mark, it's like hitting a brick wall. Nobody is ever the same, the next year. I think the best any running back did was Barry Sanders, who 2,000 yards, and then he was 1,400 the next
14.
Year. And then Adrian Peterson, I think, after he came back from the knee, he had over 2,000 yards, almost had the record, and I think he had 1,200. But you've seen pretty much all of them just kind of go downhill. And
the only guy I haven't seen die off a 2,000-yard year has been Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's it. But he's still not quite well. Last year was incredible. This year, not quite as much.
He had 1,600 yards, Mark.
Yeah, but it's still not the 2,000.
I mean, I get it. Do you think Philly? Do you think do you think Barkley's finished?
No, I don't think that at all. I'm not saying he's going to get 2,000 yards again.
How many years do you think he's got left being a prominent number one?
I think another good 2 around a healthy line. And the only reason I say it is because when you saw Elliott fall off, there was something. He just looks slow, no burst. I don't see that from Barkley. What I see from Barkley is 3 straight times where he touches the ball. As soon as he touches it, 2 guys are in the backfield. And here's the other thing: Barkley played better down the stretch. Believe it or not, he actually played better down the stretch. These last 4 or 5 games, he had a bunch of a couple 100-yard games. He had a 100-yard game in that playoff game. So I don't think it's Barkley yet. I think it's more offensive line.
Mark, what's the number one priority in the offseason for the Dallas Cowboys?
There's so many priorities here. First, we got to get a legitimate defensive coordinator, and then I think you've got to get George Pickens signed. If you don't do those 2 things, it doesn't matter what else you do.
But aren't your problems more on D?
Our problems are more on D, but right now, your offense is helping your defense.
Your offense is what's keeping you afloat in ball
games,
right?
Now, I get it. In 23, Dak Prescott had as many yards and more touchdown passes without a George Pickens. But I'd rather have that guy there than not have him there. But our defense, we got nowhere to go but up, and they've got a lot of work they got to do on it. If they can get George Pickens signed, pretty much you can say my offense is on cruise control. Then I can take all my resources, my 2 number 1 picks, and put those on the defense and try and build that up. And hopefully,
Philly, let me go here with you on this here with the Eagles offseason here. Let's say that, and I do think you're going to be poached or potentially 2 guys, maybe even Bobby King at linebacker. Also, because look at the job that guy's done with your linebacking core. So you're healthier offensive line, right? You could potentially lose a key stud defensive back guy, or 2 with Clint Hurt could be a coordinator. Clint Hurt and John Harbaugh are very good friends. That could be the next defensive coordinator in New York. Okay. Plus you have who you signing with Jalen Phillips. By the way, are you punting on Jalen Carter and picking up the 5th-year option and punting on that and giving yourself a chance to find Phillips? And what are you doing with N'Kobe? Are you signing him? You letting him walk? Are you letting Reed walk? A lot of decisions to be made in the offseason here for Howie, no?
Yeah, a ton. To me, I'm signing Jalen Carter. I'm signing Jordan Davis. I'm picking up Nolan Smith's contract. I'm not signing him to an extension. And if Jalen Phillips is anything $30 million or over, I'm letting him walk. And I'll figure that out. If I can get N'Kobe Dean back, I would like to see them do that, but I don't know how easy that's going to be. And then as far as Clint Hurt, my goal is to keep at least one of those guys by promising them a defensive coordinator job when Vic retires.
Don't you agree, though, Okay? If you don't sign Jalen Carter, all the bullshit you did in the offseason with setting up for 26 for Carter and for some of these other guys, and they punt and they go to the fifth-year option, and you let Sweat and you let Milton. Milton's killing it. Sweat had a great year. You let those guys walk, and you only pick the fifth-year option up, then what the hell were you dumping players for?
Yeah, I agree.
Is that why you're
agree.
saying? Is that why you're saying?
That's part of it. It's part of it, but because also I believe that if Jalen Carter goes out and plays great next year, it's going to cost me way more money than it would now. And I think Jordan Davis has played himself into a contract extension. I just don't think you can let him go. And to me, you got to build your defensive line around the two interior guys, and they got to be here long term. Hopefully, Jalen Hunt could develop. And I think the guy who may be the odd man out is Nolan Smith. Where's he been all year?
Absolutely. Mark, couple last ones here for you. How are Cowboy fans feeling about the Eagles getting knocked out of the playoffs?
You know what? I don't want to say that it feels as good as us actually winning in the playoffs, but at least it's definitely a boost for us. And not only that, to see Green Bay lose and see Trayvon Diggs playing one play and getting trucked, it was kind of like, hey, this is a good weekend. Our draft pick locked in at 20. Green Bay loses. Eagles lose. Oh, and Aaron Rodgers loses last night. It's like, this is like Christmas right now.
Philly, how do you feel about the glee of Cowboy fans and your demise this year?
It's like flashbacks to when I was growing up, losing the Fog Bowl, losing all these games, and just all I had left was the hope that Dallas would lose. You know, I'm just so glad I don't have to live like a Cowboy fan. I really, I couldn't be happier.
So wait a minute. For you right now, this is more misery for you than actually the excitement of winning the Super Bowl. Is like, hey, look, winning is great, but losing is misery, isn't it? And because Cowboy fans come off the top rope on you, right?
Yeah, because I mean they're used to it. You could see it in with their team. I'm sorry, but I've watched that Hard Knocks for 6 weeks. I've never seen a happier bunch of losers in that Dallas locker room. I'm serious. I'm being out there happy, smiling. You watch the Eagle players in that locker room yesterday. They were miserable. They all look like they're going to cry. I want my team to want to win more than me, and I want them to care more than me.
Look at you smiling, Mark.
I've got the emotional bunny.
That's what I'm saying
right here.
You see what I'm saying? He's more happy that we lost than his team wins.
You know the funniest
He's willing
thing
to
about
tell
this
you
is
that smoke and mirrors on a good defense in Dallas, just so he doesn't have to blame his boy, Dak Prescott.
I tell you what, the funniest thing is you guys are madder at Cowboy fans than 49ers.
I'm not mad at all.
No, well, okay, maybe you're not. But most Eagle fans are cussing us out. They're not saying anything about San Francisco. The guys that knocked you out.
Because they kicked our ass, let's be honest. They just came in and kicked our ass. What can I say?
Hey, Mark, how about this? I don't think anybody thought that team on Sunday was more talented than the Cowboys.
No.
That beat Philly. That's the disappointing thing. What'd you make of that A.J. Brown lack of effort?
Didn't the Cowboys actually beat them last time they played? Or was that a figment of my imagination?
Yeah. Hey. Oh, you mean us? Yeah. You beat us. We blew another case of...
It might have been a delusional thought that I had that the Cowboys actually beat the Eagles one time.
I know. I know you Cowboys fans... I know you Cowboy fans love to make the regular season as big as like playoffs. But they're just not.
Yeah, this is painful for Philly right now. I can tell in his face.
Hey, look, I care. I care.
I got it. Hey,
you don't care. You're happy. You're making a win.
No. I love the fan base, man. I don't care either way about the team. I love the fan base.
No, not you. Him. He's barbecuing and he don't care. He's been out of it for weeks.
What about this? Hey, Philly, what about this one here? What did you make of that fiasco on the sidelines with Nick and AJ going at it back on the sidelines there?
Part of me was like, good, Nick, tell him at the time, because I'm like, you can't be dropping that ball with all the crying that you did,
Effort.
and you're dropping. But then I find out it's because he wants him to get off the field for fourth down. And it's like, oh, come on, Nick. But, look, maybe you can't do that with AJ. Maybe that gets in his head.
Right.
I don't know.
Because he had 4 drops after. He had 4 drops after.
I thought it was the worst game he's ever played that I've seen. So, yeah, it wasn't a good look. But, I know people want to run AJ out of town. I have no interest in moving AJ Brown.
No way.
I'm keeping him.
No way. That don't make you better. All right. Mark, final comments on what you saw this past weekend and watching the Eagles go down in flames. Go.
I feel like the Eagles have peaked and they're kind of coming back down to earth.
Oh, so you think they're going the other way now?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I do. Here's the thing, that offensive line, man, you have to wonder, is Lane Johnson coming back?
I don't know.
And is he going to be the same that he used to be? That offensive line definitely took a step back. Saquon Barkley took a step back.
So the Super Bowl window's closed.
I didn't say it was closed, but there's definitely, there's a chance, depending on what the Cowboys do. If they go and dick around like they used to, and then of course, we ain't got a chance. But if they actually go out and make some legitimate moves, yeah, we got a chance.
Depending upon, listen, if our window's closing, yours is slammed shut.
Now, how's it slammed shut?
Done. Because you got an old quarterback who can't win a playoff game to save his life. Okay. And then you got a bad defense. You got to get a new.
Maybe we
you
should
want to say our window's closing
and get a defense that can carry a sorry ass quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Right, because when you've had top 10 defenses, those weren't real defenses; they were smoke and mirrors. Come on, man, you can't have two ways. Mark is a broken record. Every year, the Eagles' window has closed. I've heard it so many times. The truth of the matter is this: we're there. We got to get the right coordinator. We got to make the right moves this offseason. Howie needs to be very aggressive. When Howie's aggressive, the team always has good years that following year. And we'll be right back in the thick of things. I have no doubt.
Then go get Doug Peterson as your new OC. That's aggressive. But
I'm not opposed to it.
Be aggressive.
I agree. But do you think that they're going to go out and get Doug Peterson, the former head coach of the team that won the former
Doug said on my show he'd do it.
Okay, didn't do it. I have no problem with it. I'm open to anything that makes this team better, but anything that makes Nick Sirianni not have control of the offense, and I'm game.
I would love that, because you know what that would be if you brought back Doug Peterson.
It would be crazy.
It would be crazy, because every time there's a hiccup on the team, it would be fire your coach and elevate him. Oh man, but
if
that's
Doug,
like a quarterback.
Wait, if Doug comes in and Hurts goes for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns and they win 13, 14 games, bye-bye, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That controversy right there.
That's why it won't happen.
By the way, that might make a lot of Philly fans really excited if that ended up happening.
Well, I don't know if that'd be like Nick. Nick would be looking over his shoulder the whole entire year. I don't think that would work out. I don't think
I'd love it.
You don't want to do what's best for the team.
I'm just saying I don't think it could work out. I don't think it could work out.
Philly, are you surprised? Are you surprised it ended like this? Because I'm still surprised.
Very surprised.
You know what? Yeah. Sunday night, Mark, you know what I did? I didn't get to sleep after we did the postgame because I'm like, I kept saying this. I can't believe they fucking lost.
You guys were pissed.
I can't believe they lost. And you know what, Philly? If you had lost to Seattle, I would have went, you lose, you're not going to win them all. But when you lose to something like that, Mark.
Especially after losing Kittle.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you that it didn't matter who you were playing. They were so stuck in the offense and what they're doing that it killed them. It was the biggest problem. It doesn't matter who you're playing, and that's what it felt like. They coach like. Feels like they go up and they go, we don't care who the defense is or what they do or who the best player is. This is what we're going to do on offense, and that's it.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, playoffs here, and it should be a great
great weekend. good games.
You see the numbers? 41 million people watched that 49er and Eagle game.
Wow.
41 million people. 31 on Prime. Ultimate numbers on Prime for that Chicago Green Bay game.
That was a great game. I mean, I'm an Eagle fan, but I will watch every playoff game because I'm a football fan. So
guys,
it's going to be interesting.
I want to show you one thing about coaching. If I told you there's a quarterback in the playoffs that had a 58% completion percentage, who would you think it was?
C.J. Stroud.
Who would you think, Philly?
58%?
58%.
I'm going to say Purdy.
How about Caleb Williams?
Wow.
You want to know? Hey, you want to know?
You give me that, coach.
That's 58%, almost a 50% completion percentage, and you won 13 games with that dude.
Yeah.
That's coaching, isn't it? Isn't that knowing what to do with that's the guy you need, Philly. Is you imagine Ben Johnson with Jalen Hurts? That's the guy.
I know that he would be great. That's what they need. Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. Guys, you've been spectacular.
Thank you.
We're going to catch up again. Hey, Mark, let me see that smile, man. Philly. Man, this guy takes so much. He takes so much pride in you getting and you being in pain, man. He does.
Don't act like he hasn't enjoyed me hurting every week.
Oh, no,
come on.
The top rope all year.
But I come off of the top rope from a winning standpoint. I'm already on top of the mountain.
Hey,
he's at the bottom of the mountain,
get it, bro.
Reaching up, trying to pull us all down.
Yeah, but he'll tell you I come off the Dallas Cowboy mountain.
30 years ago, we're gonna do that.
Guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you. I love both of you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. All right, we'll catch up again. Make sure you check out Mark Holmes and make sure you check out my friend Philly.500. Guys are great, man. Please do me a favor and hit the like button. Let me pay some bills here. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It is because they
All right, good people. I appreciate y'all being here for the Battle Royale. At least I got just a little bit of payback from Philly.500. As always, I appreciate you guys. And let's go with this one to get out of here. Oh, wrong one. That's the wrong one. Damn it.
Disrespected yet? Does this defense have any heart?
No, they suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
Shit on you. They've shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slate, they shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slate, they shit on you. Kill them.
Oh, my goodness. Did he